Okay, let's not beat around the bush here. I've got a bone to pick. I've got a fork. This is a fork. I'm angry. Those of you who are longtime fans of this channel likely know that I got demonetized not once but twice last year. It's really hard to overstate the impact that something like this can have on your life. Financially, emotionally, hygienically. Since this is something that's happening to a lot of creators lately, I figured I'd make a video explaining to you just how not great this whole process is for the people involved. That is, the people on the receiving end. Us. So let's say you start a YouTube channel. You work on it for years. You upload tons of videos that you've worked really hard on, slowly but steadily building your subscriber count until one day you get an email inviting you into the official YouTube Partner Management Program. You get assigned a partner manager who looks at your channel and gives you feedback and ideas on what to change to make the most of your channel. You even talk on the phone several times with a human. I know, right? An actual human being at Google. You feel like one of the in crowd. You've arrived. And then one day you look at your analytics and you realize your videos suddenly stopped earning money nearly a week earlier. Everything is still live, but your earnings have suddenly dropped to zero. And then you notice a tiny bit of text at the top that says, currently ineligible for monetization. What the? And that's how you find out that you've lost a month of income. No email, no phone call, no warning. You never see it coming. And remember those phone calls where you discussed all the changes you should make to optimize your channel, like better thumbnails and end screens and metadata? You know what wasn't mentioned? Anything that sounded like, hey, by the way, we think your entire channel is so fundamentally problematic that we're going to take away your ability to earn money from any of your videos. No, nothing like that. You now have killer thumbnails, though. Yay! So of course the first thing you do is contact your partner manager. I mean, this is obviously a mistake, so all you need to do is tell YouTube that there's been a glitch, and your good buddies will fix everything right up. Or worst case, if there is a problem, they'll just explain it to you, so you can fix what you need to, and everything can go back to being hunky-dory again. After all, YouTube's clearly invested in making your channel the best it can be, so they'll be happy to help, right? Except, it turns out that being demonetized means you've been kicked out of the YouTube Partner Program, which means you are not only no longer eligible for monetization, but you're also no longer eligible for any support programs, which means your BFF doesn't answer your emails. And you also can't email general YouTube support. And you sure as heck aren't going to be talking on the phone to anyone. In fact, there's no longer any way for you to contact a human being at all for a month. Did I mention that part? You have to wait a month to reapply. There's nothing you can do until then, and in the meantime, no one will talk to you. But how are you supposed to know what to do in a month if no one will tell you what the problem is? Isn't the whole point of these programs to improve channels like mine? How does refusing to tell me what to fix accomplish any of YouTube's goals? Heck, they're actually losing money by doing this. Why don't they just tell me what to do so I can do it? Well, actually YouTube has told you exactly what the problem is. See, it's right here. Reused content. Now you know exactly what to do. No? Okay, don't worry. YouTube has a ton of helpful information for you. Here you go. Now you know what to do. It turns out that there are a number of reasons you can be demonetized, and most of them are pretty darn near incomprehensible. Take reused content, for example. You'd think that would mean that you've uploaded the same video more than once, or something like that. But no, that's called repetitive content. Reused content is completely different. In its purest form, it would be stealing and re-uploading other people's videos, or uploading your favorite episode of Cougar Town. In other words, reusing other people's content. Got it? Great. So stop doing that. Except you've never done that. So now what do? Well, it turns out that in recent times, this is a fairly easy net to get caught in. Especially hard hit seem to be channels that do satire and commentary, since they inherently involve using other works. The problem is that the difference between your comedy video, mashing up, say, video clips to make it look like The Notebook was a horror movie, and flat out re-uploading The Notebook, look pretty similar if the one making the decision doesn't have a particular fine-tuned sense of humor. And then there are channels that do things like cinema video essays, like Every Frame a Painting, which are basically wall-to-wall movie clips, and also one of the best things on YouTube. Videos like these have artistic merit at the wazoo, but they're also very prone to getting flagged. But your channel doesn't fall into either of those categories, so you're still not sure what changes you need to make. Isn't there anywhere else to turn for help? Well, yes, there is. Sort of. Let me explain. Although you have no official contact channels available now, some creators say they've had success tweeting at Team YouTube. Not at YouTube or at YouTube creators, but at Team YouTube. Which is ridiculous. But by this point, you're desperate. My, how the mighty have fallen. So you send a tweet, and nothing happens. So you wait a day, and you try again, and again, and again. And then, like something wonderful happening in a metaphor somewhere, you finally get a response. Well, fiddlesticks. There's just so much to unpack here. Where to start? Thanks for bringing this up. Yes, I'm sure I made someone's day. More info in Creator Studio, including detailed resources. Just so we're clear, that's this. Or a couple of linked pages that say roughly the same thing. And next steps. Yes, we know. Change something and wait a month. You can always reapply in 30 days. This is the kicker. Meaning this is when you start to feel like someone is actually kicking you. The thing is, the big problem isn't that your account was flagged. Mistakes happen, we all know that. The problem is that you don't know what to do. You can't get any feedback on the changes you do make, and most importantly, losing a month's income is a big deal. For you, like for many YouTubers, creating content is a full-time job. And losing a job, for anyone, is devastating. And pretending like it isn't is the difference between being merely unhelpful and being downright cruel. Of course, the truth is you probably will get remonetized. Eventually. But when the change happens, it will be as abrupt and unexplained as the last time. Those unanswered questions that are driving you nuts, why did this happen? What exactly is the problem? Will probably never be answered. You'll make some changes, you'll get reaccepted, but you'll never find out if one of those changes was the key, or if you could have just reapplied without changing anything. You'll just never know. Another thing you'll never know? If the same thing will happen to you again. After I was demonetized last summer, I made massive changes to my channel, deleting most of my content and uploading a ton of new videos, all with the goal of making my channel absolutely, positively, 100%, not even a little bit reused content-y. And it worked. I was remonetized and lived happily ever after. Until 4 months later, when I was demonetized again. For the same thing. I mean, how is that even possible? I hadn't done anything different in the meantime. So, you know what I did? I burned through more of my savings to pay for food and rent, again, made some very minimal changes to the channel, and was reapproved. Again. There's no moral here, no great lesson to share with you, aside from this. YouTube is wonderful. It's one of the biggest, greatest, weirdest collaborative projects in the history of mankind. Please, please keep making videos. But don't trust YouTube to look after you. As much as you can, build a brand and a network and, most importantly, revenue streams that don't rely on YouTube. Apply the same wit and creativity to finding ways to feed yourself as you do making incredible content. Fork yeah.